Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Final Hazard. I'm your host, Matt. Seth's not here, and I'm joined by these lovely people.
Hi, I'm Liam.
Hey, what's going on? It's Doc.
I'm Ivan, the fan favorite.
I'm Micah. Hi.
Let's get into the topic of today's episode: Sonic Frontiers. Before we get into the real review, what were our expectations going into the game and its release?
I didn't know how to feel going in because a lot of the marketing was really strange, and we got that really shoddy IGN gameplay of a guy who I don't think has played video games before. But honestly, going in, I was very skeptical because I wasn't really sure how to feel about the story. I wasn't too akin to Ian Flynn, but people said he was writing the game, and everyone had his back. And then as we got closer and closer, I got excited, and for some reason felt shame for that. I felt ashamed for being excited, but once it came out, I enjoyed myself. How about you guys?
It's the Sonic curse. I was extremely skeptical, especially from the first IGN gameplay. And also just the strange lack of story and gameplay in the beginning too. It was just going out in segments, and that was some strange marketing. And it didn't help that people were just during the time where they were not showing anything. They had an event where influencers or big people got to play the game. People were just sneaking out screenshots and videos at what they could. That didn't really help either, because we saw just this game in certain parts that just kind of didn't make sense. So getting an idea of how this game would be was extremely hard.
To beat a dead horse ever since the IGN preview dropped and gave us the slowest gameplay I think I've ever seen. I'm convinced the guy was playing with his eyes closed. I felt very middled about seeing the game in action, but once that Switch Direct came around and we got a better look at how the game plays, I was a little bit more optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the most big thing that really kind of got me a little bit concerned was just the switch from stage to stage to, as they say, an open zone game, which practically from what I said to me was, oh, it's sort of, I'm guessing, open world, or they're having sort of wide open sort of spaces, how Legends Arceus did it. That's the way I put it. It's more like Monster Hunter than it would be Breath of the Wild. I tried to just kind of not pay attention to a lot of the just leaked screenshots, considering I wanted to just kind of go into the game as best as I could with no prior knowledge. Since the game came out, I've had a blast with it.
One thing that people said when they played the game is that Sonic felt really good to control and just move around in the world. And I was very skeptical about that, but as soon as I got my hands on the game and got the first opening area after Green Hill, that was where I was like, oh, I already feel this. It's really good.
He can actually move.
He can actually move. He just feels fun to control. They were right.
Especially when you turn all the settings up to just 100.
Yeah. Overall, my expectations for the game, I don't think I had any expectations besides, okay, this game is probably going to be better than Forces. I think the last Sonic game that I had played in its entirety before Frontiers came out was Colors Ultimate, and
oh no,
you can see those live streams.
They're still up?
Yikes.
Yes.
Oh, I know I do tonight.
Yeah, I'm not that embarrassed, buddy. I'm not that embarrassed. But yes, shut up. I was just really kind of taking it as time went on. I was optimistic, but I was also, I was trying to be cautious. I enjoyed every single trailer. I think at a certain point, I stopped watching trailers. I stopped watching any of the gameplay news videos and stuff like that. I just stopped watching them because this is the same thing with movies and stuff. When you get to a certain point, it gets spoilery and you don't want to learn more than you already know.
Yeah.
So if there was a trailer that showed off way too much shit, I was good. And the game also got broke street date a week before launch. And I literally stared the fucking download link to the Switch file in I looked at it, I clicked on it, and I didn't download it.
You're a stronger man than Ivan.
I was about to say, a good friend of ours. Not only Ivan, didn't you pirate it, but also buy it from a New York mom and pop shop and have it sent to your house?
I'm the biggest frontier soldier.
He's the biggest fucking thief. You fucking thief.
The federal agents will be at your house soon.
I looked at that shit. I literally saw I was in a server and I saw people screen sharing the fucking game. You know how fucking so how bad I this was the first time I really wanted to play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to play this.
You're so strong.
Pokemon. I saw the download link for Pokemon. I didn't give a shit. Okay. I saw the download link to fucking Pokemon Scarlet. Didn't give a shit about that.
How do you think I felt? Fucking where I work, I had my fucking pre-order copy of the game just sitting there.
Oh yeah.
It was just staring at me.
Yeah.
It's just you alone in the room with the devil and angel on your shoulder. Being like, take it, motherfucker.
Take it.
If I was a bad employee, I would have.
Pick it up.
The game is great. After playing it, I've only played it once. I want to play it again. But I think it's pretty great. Ivan, you're the only one who hasn't given your expectations going in.
There's a reason for that because I'm going to be the doomer of the group.
I knew it.
Okay, so when we first heard about it, the very first thing we only knew was through word of mouth that was gonna be open zone, or did they first say open zone, or that was just gonna be fully 3D?
I think it was open world, fully 3D.
No, I'm pretty sure they started with open zone.
Imagining that, I was very excited, but then everything dropped when we saw the reveal. I did not care. Besides the combat looked cool, but besides everything was just made me ask why. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? And then finally playing it months later, it's I was disappointed in a lot of ways, but also super happy because it finally gave us so much that we wanted ever since we were little babies.
True.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not fully conflicted, but it's just more aligned in that thought of this could have been a lot better.
Of course. To me, it's one of those games you kind of gotta get your hands on first before making a full judgment. Because I feel at least before it came out, it was basically impossible to fully know what the devs were thinking or expecting this game to be or at least the reception. But actually playing it, then you get an idea of what their mindset was, especially when they use the term open zone.
Yeah, I think before the game was coming out, there were because I always go back to this because it was a really big deal. There was a lot of talks about whether or not this game might make or break Sonic again. I think. And when that IGN review came around, because this was the first time in a long time that we had seen a legitimate effort towards trying to make Sonic serious again since maybe Forces, which ended up just being a rug pull, and everyone was super disappointed by. So when they go for it again and we're no, we're trying this time, you could sense there was an element of fan service, but also this dread that everyone had.
Yeah.
I could...
Definitely.
Seth may not be here, but he definitely made it clear that if this game was not good, he was going to drop Sonic.
I remember, the reception, Critical's video, just this looks like shit. Even some game devs were this game does not look solid.
Yeah,
it was a crazy time.
People were getting flashbacks to I think a lot of Sonic fans were people think it's 06. They didn't think it was 06. They thought it was Rise of Lyric. Which A lot of Sonic fans think that '06 killed Sonic way more than Rise of Lyric did, when in reality, Rise of Lyric broke Wii. The reception that that game gave out was so much worse, and I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was a side company, so like no one really cares." No one knows that. No normal person knows that.
It killed a spin-off franchise before it could even get off the ground. Like
Yep.
that's insane. The failure of Sonic Boom needs to be like talked about, like intense. Like we really need to sit down and like talk about that. But now is not the time for that at all.
It was over 10
At
years
all.
ago.
It
No,
is
almost 10 years ago.
is
Dear
almost 10 years
God.
ago.
Dear
It's
God.
it's going to be 10 years ago this year. Holy fuck.
year.
But Liam mentioned a certain name earlier. Ian Flynn. And well, Ian Flynn, he made that story. It was a banger for sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Just for those who are uninitiated and they're like kind of like just coming into this like Frontiers review with no knowledge of any of the people who are working on like this game or who have worked on this game. Ian Flynn is a long-standing like comic book writer. He's been writing for the Sonic comics since I think 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. He's been writing for the Sonic comics since then, and he's still doing it like over 10 years, almost 20 years now, potentially. And he was given the task of writing the story for this game, and I think he did a pretty good job. There was a big shift in tone. How did we feel about that?
With the time that they had making this game, I'm sure certain things were cut, but for what like Ian Flynn was able to do, and like through all the stages that Sonic has been in his like franchise, different tones, he did a good job. And it also like certain things that just didn't make sense before, like Tails just like giving up with Infinite, like he made it work somehow, which is
Yeah.
incredible.
There's a lot of
Hmm.
this game screams. The story specifically screams damage control, but in a good way. Like it's it's a step in the right
Yeah.
direction. We got a lot of characters who finally got a chance to be characters. And I think a lot of this game is evident of that. Like you said with the Tails, but also Knuckles. We get a lot of really
Yes.
fun moments with him. Amy exists now, like as a person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like besides being just like this like cardboard cutout of like this is the girl character that she had been for like so many fucking years now.
Pink Minnie
Um,
Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
Girl power.
Also, there's like a huge step for lore.
Mm.
Like there
Mhm.
was with the ancients and all that.
Oh.
It was really interesting to kind of see. We learned about the Chaos Emeralds, and it put ideas in people's heads of like, oh, where could we go for stuff that we just kind of never questioned before.
Yeah.
I also think that like a big point of this was this is the first time we've had like a well-written Sonic game. Like the writing sounds like people talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Sonic games, to me personally, are written horribly, and this is like okay written for Sonic.
It's a good base.
It is. The tone of this game is a lot more. It's certainly serious. It's almost serious about it, but it still feels true to these characters that we've known for damn near 30 years now.
Yeah.
It's good that Ian was basically working with a smaller cast of characters because we just have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Eggman, and the new face to this game, Sage.
The game does a really good job like making sure you know who these people are.
This feels like a return to form for characters that we've actually never seen in the games. Like they've acted kind of similar before in past games, but never to this degree. And this is what we should have had from the start.
Oh,
Mhm.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Fucking Tails. Tails is like they did him very well. They did him
Yeah.
very well. for people who are fans of this channel, you know I have been extremely critical about Miles Tails' power in modern Sonic games. The man's freed his cheeks to Chaos Zero. He literally,
Jesus.
bro, literally squatted down, turned around, and said, "Take me, bro, take me." Like, what? Why would you do that?
And that's why this game exists.
Like, why would you? Because like you have the games like you have games like SA1 where he's like, you have SA1 where he's like trying to find his confidence. He's trying to find his confidence without Sonic, and he finally does it at the end of the game. And then like SA2 kind of like regresses him a little bit because they go over the same fucking story beat again because he was just not supposed to be playable in that game at all. So you know they had to take liberties and redo things. And then he's like, "Wow, Sonic's never relied on me before to do anything." At the end of SA2, and then he shoots Eggman to death. It's crazy.
No way.
And then I think like what it is then you get to fucking Unleashed, where all the character like Unleashed is like this weird like soft reboot or something. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird soft reboot of sorts, and Tails just kind of like regresses again, and it just doesn't work. It's like and he starts doing the squatting shit. He turns around, he cowers in fear, and I don't know. I didn't like that. And then there's Knuckles, and there's Knuckles who is just not a character, who just has not been a character for so long. And they gave him something to do. They gave him a motivation. They gave him a want. Like he wants to go explore the outside world. He wants to like leave the island and do other shit for once, which is pretty cool.
Big point of this game's story is all three of them kind of deciding they want to travel on their own without Sonic there.
Yeah, like that's what going back to when I said this story reeks of damage control is a lot of these characters have not been characters for for a good part of maybe like 20 to 30 years. Ever since I want to say maybe Adventure, a lot of these characters have had no growth whatsoever. With, like you said, Tails just reliving the fucking little brother story. They're all just defined by their own relationship to Sonic, who effectively his job is to not grow and just be consistent. And this even rings true for Eggman, who, when he gets Sage, grows more as a person and starts feeling more empathy towards his creations. But I know everyone really likes Sage, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so sweet." I did not give a single fuck about her at all because she's just Eggman's. This is gonna sound bad. She's Eggman's Maria, where she is just a catalyst that entirely exists for another character's growth, and I hate that in characters. Sage has a little bit more
He's
character.
right though.
Because like Eggman's
got a
like,
point.
"Oh, Sage made a joke in like an audio file," but we never see that. We never get that shown to us. Like it's this ham-fistedness that I know like a lot of anime do this where like they just say characters' wants and like desires like directly towards you. But personally for me, I'm not a fan of that. I always felt like that was kind of, it can feel like sloppy storytelling in a way. But I'm glad that this game is taking the steps to show for the next game that we can grow more and be a little bit more nuanced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least Sage didn't
Li-
get shot in the back by the military.
Sadly, I was hoping for it.
Would Sage die if she was shot in the back?
I don't think so.
No.
I'd love to find out.
What do we think of Sage, by the way?
I like her.
She's very interesting. Because I was ultra completionist while playing the game, so you know I unlocked all the side stories.
Mm-hmm.
So
Me too.
Yeah, same.
so like you learn a little bit about her, and then also through like your interactions with her through in the field, And then like also like the egg memos, you learn a little bit more about like her relation to Eggman. I think for just this being like her first game, she's very well rounded, and judging from the ending of the game, this is where we get into spoiler territory. I'm pretty sure she's going to be coming back in later installments. Maybe
Yeah.
not in the same role as she was in this game, but like she might come back as like maybe like part of the Eggman Team Rocket dynamic thing they got going. She's gonna be like the Wobbuffet, and I'm joking.
Oh my god, Wobbuffet. She
Wow,
definitely
but-
feels like an IDW character where she is given like a good base story to start from, and then from there they'll just like develop her even more.
Yeah, you get your Tangle and Whisper miniseries.
Yeah, exactly.
until they inevitably break your heart.
I personally can't wait for that because I know I did say that she bothered me, but she bothered me in a way that I wanted to like her more and I wanted to see more of her. Because there's a lot of potential with that character, and I think a lot of my issues with Sage personally comes from the rushness of this game. Because a big issue with Frontiers generally
God.
overall is that this game is very rushed and is effectively incomplete.
Yeah.
And you can tell that from the fucking ending with the fucking moon. And I know who is it that
God.
said on Twitter that it is meant to be Sonic's represent. It's supposed to be like your representation of the end and like death. Uh, which is fucking cool. Like that's a cool idea, but it is
hmm
executed so fucking poorly. I think by
Yeah.
one, the ham-fisted nature of the game, not allowing it to kind of like have a lot of nuance and a lot of areas where it must have needed it, but also that ending island where like you finally get to see Sage and Eggman interacting together, like teaming up with Sonic to like find the emeralds. You see none of that.
Eggman gets the emeralds off screen, and it's
Yeah.
like, huh?
Not even. He gets the
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah, like
It's the last one off screen.
it could have been a really cool SA2 moment where we get to see characters build off each other and bounce off each other in an interesting way. Because I really like Sonic's dynamic with Sage in this game. I think he's written so well in this game.
He's got this like snark. He still has like the snarky asshole attitude of Sonic that we love, but he's like grounded. He's a lot. He's more vetted. He's like this is Sonic the veteran. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not a hedgehog
Oh,
no
yeah.
more. He's a veteran. Yeah. And he's seen some shit, and he's like, he's just tired of people from yanking his chain. You know, he's like,
He's fucking awesome in this game.
he's like,
Yeah.
dude, can you stop being fucking cryptic and tell me what the fuck you want? I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I got stuff to do.
One of my favorite lines from Sonic in this game is like, I forget exactly what she says. Something like, what are you gonna do? And then Sonic says, the best I can. That's such a Sonic line right there.
It is.
I love it.
I think one of my favorite lines from Sonic is like it's during the end of Ares Island, where it's like the little last conversation with Tails. Tails just says like, so something on the lines of like, so are you saying I outpaced you? And he just like he says to him like, yeah, don't push it. I don't know. I just really like that line delivery. It's very
Yeah.
cheeky. It's very cheeky of him, but also like that's very big brothery of him as well.
That's
Mhm.
like one of my favorite lines in this whole game. And I think I said something along the lines of this where I want to say like a year back. I said, "Let Sonic say yo." Or something like that. Like let him just be casual.
Yeah.
And fucking he goes up to Tails at one of the points and he says, "Yo Tails," in the most human way. And I got so fucking excited by just hearing that. Because there's no zany push to it. Like a lot of this the game is ham-fisted in everything except like the way Sonic is. He's just himself. Like he's always been like
He's
that,
natural.
like the constant character, but he's just himself in this game. I don't know how else to put it. He's snarky when when he has to, because I feel like a lot of people in recent uh like memory have fucking hated snarky Sonic, or like when he's like kind of a dick. And personally, I've always felt Sonic is a dickhead. Like as a character, like I remember the Planet Wisp like short happened, and someone was like, "Why wasn't Sonic being super nice to the Wisp?" I'm like, he's got more important things to worry about. And we get that nice balance of the grounded, caring, like hero, and then the snarky asshole. He talks back to Sage, but he's still genuinely concerned. And same goes for
Mm-hmm.
his dialogue with Knuckles is fucking fantastic. We've never seen their rivalry
Oh
done
yeah.
better.
Like I said earlier, Knuckles has just been such a not character. He hasn't been a character in years. The only time you really see him like do anything is the adventure games in that era before Unleashed. He doesn't really interact too much with Sonic. I think as recently he hasn't really interacted much with Sonic. So there's no like room for that relationship to be explored. And then but this game gave us that room, and they're just pals. They just fuck with each other.
Even with Amy, where like I had no idea how they were gonna write her, because she's for so many years, even kind of back in Adventure, she's kind of just been a nothing character, and you feel free to disagree, but even in here, like you could see more character in her. She has a bit more of a kind of motherly vibe around her, where she cares about the Coco in a way,
Hmm.
and about their world, and like sees the beauty in it. And Sonic is also there to like support her.
I
Yeah.
think that the motherly vibe is something that's like usually explored when like she's like with Cream, or
Yeah.
like I think the Rush games kind of explore it, because like you got like her little interaction with like Blaze and Cream there, so like they kind of balance each other out. But other than that, like I think people have this the fan base has um this viewpoint of Amy as like the boy crazed fangirl,
Yeah.
because people only ever think about this time there's no way out of marrying me, because her character in Heroes is awful.
Was
Forgot about that
Terrible.
line.
Terrible.
Sonic Battle.
Sonic
yeah,
Battle. She's at a
Oh.
what? I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't say it's a motherly vibe. I think Amy's whole thing is that she's a very caring person, and that's been like
Yeah.
a thing since Adventure 1, even 2. Is that with
The
like
better-
Gamma, she's always been like a caring person, always just like she's the best in most people. Like she sees it with Gamma, she saw it in Shadow. It's what leads to him helping the other heroes to save the world. And it's something explored more in this game, is that she's a very caring person, and then she has a lot of love she wants to share with everyone, not just Sonic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that
Absolutely.
is a cool thing to. I think that aspect of her character needs to be explored more. I want to see what happens when she's proven wrong.
Mm.
At some point, that
That
needs to
definitely-
happen.
It's called Eggman.
You know,
It definitely does. I think going back to what you said about how everyone just sees Amy as boy crazy, I have always fucking despised that, because personally,
exactly.
I never saw it that way. Like just me,
No.
like firstly, I was like, "Oh, Amy's boy crazy." I'm like, "No, she's fucking awesome." Like going back to the adventure games where people are like, "Oh, but she's like so one dimensional," but every character's fucking one dimensional in the adventure games. They're all fucking one note, and with everyone being these just like fucking planks of wood characters, Amy still sticks out as like an extremely like fierce and independent character. In Shadow the Hedgehog, she's like on her own doing shit like in a fucking haunted castle looking for Cream. In Adventure, her whole story is like disconnected from everyone else of her doing her own thing. She's always been independent, and this is one of the things I'm going to go back to Boom again, where I fucking hated Boom. Whereas the fucking like Flanderization of Amy's character, where they made her like this independent woman character while stripping everything away from her.
Girl
Yeah,
power.
girl power.
And I think Forces did it too, to some extent, where they like just like put her as the fucking like computer girl. When that's not who she is. She's always been like a very like spunky, like to her, like true to herself and like caring person.
Well, the thing about Forces is that everybody's just a fucking NPC, a fucking bot, dude.
Yeah.
And nobody does anything. Nobody does anything. Like even like I don't even think like Amy's role was like even like properly like shown. It wasn't until the comics came out where they're like, yeah, she was basically the shadow leader of the resistance. She kept everything in check. Like she kept all the fucking everybody in line and everything organized. And that was cool. And I think a lot of people and I think back on the line of like what you do with Amy's character, there's always like it's hard to tell or hard to like choose what to do with her. You because like the Sally Acornification of Amy Rose was something that I remember a lot of people complaining about, but I feel like they've kind of they figured out like that's not what her character is in the comics as well as this game. Like they just like were like, no, she's Amy. I don't know how to define it, but like she's Amy.
Can I ask, what do you mean by the Sally Acornification? Because I don't know too much about the comics and how she was changed.
Okay, so the way how Amy is presented in the comic, well, this is specifically during like first like I want to say 30 issues. First 30 issues is she's presented as she's kind of like she's the person, she's the guy in the chair for like the resistance and like the restoration group basically. She's basically or sending out orders, telling people where to go, what to do and shit, and like they gave Amy this like leadership role that's like, you know, Sally was like that was kind of Sally's role in the comics. Like she's the leader of the freedom fighters.
I see.
Yeah, basically. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of understand like why they would go that direction because in my head, because she is such like a caring person, that if something like were to happen, like what Forces is she would step up and she'd be the fucking
Yeah.
activist like person and be like, "Alright, motherfuckers, this is what we're doing." Like, and she would lead by example. I think.
Yeah, she would have got active in that bitch.
Yeah, like that's what my thing with Forces is that like we never saw her like fighting. When I think when you see her in like every other fucking example, she fights. Like she like always fucking like talked back to Eggman, like nearly as much as Sonic.
The best way to
Mm.
describe Amy is that she's a lover and a fighter.
You're right. Also with what you were saying, Lima, about your whole thing with Amy's character. Yeah, I agree. She's always been more in the background and active, which is kind of makes it easier to just kind of ignore her and her actions as a character.
That one Coco scene is like the best representation of her character in the entire series.
Mm.
Mm.
Can you
Yeah.
remind me
Which one?
which one is?
The one where after it dies and she's like talking about the world.
Yeah.
All the
Excellent.
voice acting in this game is
So
top notch.
Yeah, it's good.
the voice acting in that cutscene didn't even sound like Amy. It just sounded like who was
didn't.
voicing her?
Don't remember.
It's not Amy. It's not Amy Lisa or whatever. it is.
Cindy Robinson.
Cindy Robinson. Let me
Is
look.
it?
Just double check that. I mean, I don't remember.
She went in on that.
Cindy Robinson, yes.
Yeah, she.
Yes.
The voice some of the voice acting, I feel like it was missing some of the character. They definitely were directed to go more somber and more slow,
Yeah.
less zaniness, less boom. Give me more Last of Us. I don't know.
Something I noticed with Sonic is that in the beginning, his voice is a lot more deeper, but as you progress more in the story, he kind of like gets a bit more higher pitched,
It goes back to the usual
Yeah.
Sonic standard.
kind of like his original.
That could be a very interesting way to as he finds his friends, he's more
Mellowing out.
upbeat.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say just to jump a little bit back to Sage. I think it was really good that you could like, along with just like your friends, you could find her around the island and talk to her. Even if a lot of it is just Sage telling Sonic to kill himself. But like it does,
She's so funny.
she's just like, I hope you die soon, and Sonic's like, yeah, okay, but yeah, then she slowly Sonic starts to like break through to her, like once he kind of realizes what exactly she's going on, and she obviously knows what's going on, but being a creation of Eggman, she's not going to tell him.
Have we talked about like the story's progression?
Nope.
Just double checking. Okay. Yeah, damn. We just kind of talked about the characters for like ever.
Yeah.
I mean, this game is a character study, basically.
It's a character study, yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know what to say about like the progression of the story.
It's a little funky
Yeah.
at times.
It definitely fizzles out at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you played the game on hard mode, you get like a little bit more. You get a little bit more. You learn a little bit more about what's actually going on. Like the voice, you learn that the voice in Sonic's head is like this ancient enemy that the ancient enemy that the ancients were fighting. Holy ancient! It wants to bring the end of all fucking life forever.
Kind of cringe.
Kind of
Little
cringe,
trolling.
yeah. And then it becomes the moon, and you shoot it.
You can definitely tell that there is a lot more that they wanted to do, but just didn't have the time for.
That
which
should have been.
We could discuss, of course, later.
Yeah.
but
I know.
Yeah.
I
That
think
should have.
the
That
best,
final boss should have 2 stages.
Yeah.
I think the best way I can describe how I feel about the story of this game, every compliment that you heard me say only applies to the first 3 islands. Anything else, apply everything negative I've said about this game.
Fair.
The last,
Fair.
First 3 islands, every compliment. Last 2, fucking gargle on my fucking cock. I hate it.
Well,
Holy shit! Oh, you know what we didn't bring up?
What?
What?
The fucking cyber fucking cybernetic poisoning shit that was going on with Sonic.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Because it's
Anyway,
It's so it has no fucking payoff. It has no payoff.
Yeah. It's just kind of there, and it just gets resolved so quickly.
It's like it's like they have it going on in the background. Like you can see it when you play through the game. Like each island, as you transition from each island, Sonic's like idle stance changes. Once you get to Rhea, he's like clutching his head. He's like fucked up. He's like,
Bro's
damn.
dying.
Yeah.
And you know, and then by the time you get to the end of the island, Sonic's like body like just is completely corrupted, taken over, gone, and can't go on.
Actually
much
kills
longer.
him.
He's like he's literally dead. Sonic is dead at this point. But then you know, call back to the Sonic 06 prayer animal furry kiss bestiality circle.
Over.
Sonic's friends bring him back to life once again by sacrificing their lives,
I think.
which was very interesting. But like I wish that there was something more to that, and I hope that they fucking fix that shit in the DLC. Maybe like give us a little Kingdom Hearts Remind expansion on like things that are missing from the story. Would be pretty cool.
This game's story is like in one part, a majority of the main focus of the story is mostly character like study and development for Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. Sonic's mostly the same. But a lot of this is also... There's a lot of continuity welding into this as well. Especially considering a big sort of part of this game's lore is where the emeralds came from, not necessarily how they were created, just where they came from. And a big part of like seeing the ancients' history is we learned that when they escaped their planet, the emeralds took them to Earth? Question mark? Because of the Master Emerald,
Mobius.
whatever. Sonic's world.
It was they were led
By the
Ohio,
Ohio, by the
Oh,
Master
yes.
Emeralds, which is very interesting. It's kind of interesting to think because it makes you honestly. I mean, it honestly gives me more questions, but something they could explore later on in the sequel, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't like this direction they're going with rewriting the backstory, but I feel like what it could bring is interesting.
It feels it being related to aliens feels a little too easy.
It's Shadow again.
Only
Yeah,
this one's a good, decent enough
because
story.
I hope
Oh, I hate.
I hope it's not a thing they rely on in the future because it's just too easy. You can make it way more interesting when it's not about aliens.
Here's the thing, though. When you make it not about aliens, then I gotta deal with Sonic religion,
That's true. That's true.
and I don't want to see Jesus the Hedgehog.
Hey man,
I do.
listen.
Shadow is
Hey,
already
man.
Judas the Hedgehog.
Hey man, listen. When we get Sonic Frontiers 1.5 and it's just Shadow the Hedgehog 2 and we're fighting the Black Arms again. But hey,
That's something. Eggman mentions that Babylonians, the black arms and gun.
That is
Which
my
why are
biggest
the bird people? Why are the bird people aliens again? I just they need to make another writers game and explain that shit. Cause why the fuck are the bird people aliens? Are birds just aliens in the Sonic universe?
No, they're not. No, the Babylonians are aliens because the Flickies are normal. Now, because of that, every bird customizable character in my head, I now headcanon is coming down from space before Knuckles brings them to join the war. Like he sees them, he sees a fucking UFO crash land, and he's like, "Oh, fucking new meat, drafting you up, boy."
The force is trapped.
The
Oh
fellas,
my
we're
God.
missing the most important
God.
part here. They leave Big behind.
Damn.
I think he's just fake. I think he's just some. I don't know.
He's probably
No,
You know
I
what?
think he's an interdimensional creature that can travel at will. Because he said he got there on his own.
he doesn't
know how.
remember.
He does, yeah.
Personally, I like to think when the game ends, what we don't see is Big just puts on a jetpack, grabs Froggy, and just flies away.
Also, Big is physically there, so like he's not like cyber. He's not
Well,
in between. He's not in between the dimensions.
No, he is in the cyber space.
Oh yeah, he is. But like,
But he's like fully in the cyberspace.
oh no,
Is he?
oh no.
I think the most disappointing thing for Big is that he's going to come out of cyberspace with so many fish, and then they're all going to disappear.
Oh, he's gonna be. So
He's going to be
depressed.
so disappointed and hungry.
Oh
Does he eat the fish?
I would
I'd
assume he
assume-
does. Like, man's gotta eat.
Mhm.
Give me a gameplay mechanic where fucking like the DLC is you cooking up in Big's place with all the fish you catch.
I mean, you do. I mean,
He
Sonic,
eats the
You can cook
poison
meat.
frog.
Sonic
can,
does cook.
You can cook
Yeah,
meat.
he's like, you don't. I mean, it kind of the meat thing is with the Monster Hunter thing, and it also just kind of makes grabbing the purple coins obsolete.
I do like Big just being a character that just appears. That's the best thing about
Mhm.
Big, that they should just continue. He just appears. He's just there for no
Oh.
reason. No explanation.
Random thought.
Hmm.
The islands are called the Starfall Islands, and ironically, that is the worst function of the game. I hate it so much.
Oh, we can talk about that when we get to gameplay. But
Yeah.
fucking,
So we're gonna,
oh,
we're gonna get to the game. We're gonna get to the gameplay in a minute. Do we want to see this story style of storytelling stick with the franchise?
Yeah.
From
Yes.
now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come.
I don't,
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know about the story style per se. I'd like to see it grow to something bigger because
Yeah.
with this story,
Mm.
it's very character study. And I wouldn't want constant character study, despite how much I love
No.
these characters. I like how we have this moment where finally characters have motivations, wants, and desires, and I'd love for them to be explored throughout like maybe the next 3 games or so, and we just get like a trilogy story that's fucking solid that grows up to something more. Just exploring the emeralds.
Exactly. That's what I would like to.
Next thing, give me a Shadow, Rouge, and Omega.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really, if they're gonna do kind of some character study in the next game,
Yeah.
please work
Yeah,
on
please,
Shadow.
for God's sakes.
Please.
I'm gonna just be frank. I don't like Shadow the Hedgehog, the character, at the moment.
Basically, Shadow's story ended.
Yeah.
Shadow's story ended back in 2006, and like they just don't know what to do with him at this point.
Well, Ian has an
Um,
idea of what he wants to do with him, but like,
It's a matter of if they let him do it.
In this story, like they gave these new characters new drives, so do that for Shadow.
Give him a second Maria.
Oh my god.
Yo,
Never mind.
Shadow
No.
shoots Sage in the back and his PTSD.
His fourth Maria? Damn, that's crazy.
Dear
Deserves
God.
it.
how many little
Oh,
girls can
third one.
Shadow indirectly kill?
Wait, hold on. I mixed up. I don't know why, because the last time we were having a conversation about Maria, Helen got brought up, and I retroactively included Helen in that list.
Yeah, she kind of is his like modern Maria.
No,
He
No,
does
she
not
isn't.
interact with that bitch at all.
Universe 1.
He does not.
He
Does
sees
not
Maria.
Shadow does not interact with Helen at once in Sonic X. Okay,
Mhm.
it's the
Oh no, I'm thinking of.
it's the
of
other
Molly.
girl. It's the girl. It's the space girl who blows her suicide bombs herself.
Yeah.
No, it's
yeah.
not. She has a suicide
but-
bomb.
no,
Shadow watches
Helen-
her get blown out of the sky.
Helen isn't from Sonic X. That's the comics one.
Oh, you're talking about the fucking
Talking about the blonde
Robotnik
girl.
shorty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Forget about her.
Anyway.
wasn't-
Wow.
Anyway, we're
Okay,
getting
so
off
the
track.
game makes a huge mistake, I think, and starts you off in probably the weakest part of the game.
Oh god.
Okay, so we're talking about gameplay now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Controversial opinion. Skill issue.
Alright, shut up, Micah.
I'm gonna die.
Okay. I've seen Micah play the fucking cyberspace time attack fucking bullshit for hours. Okay, that shit's ass. I don't care.
Micah, it's not my problem that you got good at something bad. How many times have you beat the game? Openly
let's
tell
see.
everyone how many times you beat
No. Yeah. No, I'm not afraid. I think 3 times.
Coward.
It's too many times.
No, to be honest, it's not great. It could be a lot better control-wise, momentum-wise. But
Mm.
I something about me. There's something about me in it where, because of the limitations of control, being able to like home and cancel and like find ways to break the game makes it even more fun.
That's true. It is okay. I don't like the cyberspace because I feel like I hope the next game lets it go because it's a nice transition from the boost gameplay over to the open zone, but I feel like that's a fleeting idea that we need to like get rid of. But for what they gave us, it can be very fun to break and manipulate. It's like Melee.
It's something about Sonic gameplay is that there's always a little jank. Even the best games, there's always a
Yeah.
little jank, but it's what determines it is if it's good jank or bad jank.
Mhm.
Like Sonic Adventure, it's janky, but it's good jank. You can use the game and use the momentum within the game to like do some crazy skips, and it becomes something that's really fun to mess with. Kind of just like Mario 64, where you break the game and do some crazy shit. That's Sonic Frontiers for me. It's the good jank.
The open zone is the good jank. Cyberspace
Yeah.
is dog shit. Did you know you have a roll in cyberspace? Like in the 2D sections, you actually have a roll if you hit down. It doesn't
You
fucking
do.
work.
I wouldn't fucking know. I never tried.
I did it by
Um,
accident, and then I
terrible.
tried to do it again, and it never worked. So
my biggest issue with fucking with the cyberspace, it just doesn't control like the rest of the game. And it bothers me. It feels wrong. It feels like I'm playing two different games when I should be just playing one. In some things that you can do in like the open zone, that should be fucking chaos. Some shit that you can do in like the 2D sections in Chaos Island, you can't do in cyberspace, and it feels weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't think
I
they should
agree.
have 2D
Yeah.
sections in this game. Period. But you know,
They shouldn't. But we'll talk about that as well. But it's just I don't know. There's something about it that just like doesn't work. There's a couple of problems. I think it's finally time to let go of the fucking boost.
Mm-hmm.
We need to return to SA1 style of movement with the spin dash. I want to spam the spin dash.
Drop
Please
dash, all that.
Just let me spin dash
Good
jump
drop
off
dash.
fucking let me
Oh, yeah.
spin dash jump off slopes, dude. Let me
Yeah.
fly into the air with my own momentum. I hate the boost. The boost doesn't fucking work at all. To me, at least. When you want to run in a straight, it doesn't work. So which removes the purpose of it. That's its original purpose.
boost in this
I-
game is less of a, like the traditional boost. It's more like just a sprint. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a gas pedal,
Yeah,
but
it
in
is.
a very good way. I feel it's not as satisfying as previous boosts. Like I don't feel exhilarated when I'm using it, but that's never been really the point. If we keep going forward with this like really big open zone world, I really appreciate it. It'd be fun to have the spin dash back. I think if we brought spin dash back, but made the boost just like a bar thing that you like in the Unleashed Wii, where it just sends you blazing forward at the highest speed.
Me too.
It works for this game, but I just think like there's points where I just like think to myself, I wish I had a spin dash.
Because I always when I think of like what an open world Sonic game could be, I always think back to like SA1 in the adventure areas. In the adventure areas, like despite the adventure fields, that's what they're called. They're not really like super. They're not super in depth or anything, but like I just like fucking spamming the B button and seeing how like what fucking shit I can get up into. Let me see if I can. I love spin dashing up the walls in the Mystic Ruins to get up to the fucking train tracks. That shit's
Oh
sick.
yeah.
Just doing stupid shit with like an absolutely broken ability is that you can spam multiple times is great.
It would definitely help the sort of the platforming, especially because with Ares Island, there's just points where like I want to get on top of here, but like I don't really have it. I mean, there's the obvious way to go, or do I just boost off the small incline and get some serious
Let me
airtime?
sequence break.
Yeah,
Let me sequence break.
maybe
Let me
less not
break,
sequence
please.
breaking, but I think like if you had like a spin dash like that just gives you a lot of airtime, you could definitely like think creatively with how you want to get from point A to point B, and I think that's always been Sonic's strength, at least in the Adventure 1. I would say Adventure 1 less than 2, because SA2 is more like straightforward. SA1, there's a bit more like experimentation with how you want to get there, and I think with Frontiers' open zone design, I think that it would benefit a lot.
Something that I really like that they've embraced is with the kind of marketing, was it speed strats or whatever?
Yeah, speed strats.
They have
You're gonna say skill
embraced
issue.
kind of like they have embraced the little jankiness of Sonic, which is like the homing cancel and also like launching yourself off of rails. They bring that stuff up,
Yeah,
and I really like that because that's some of the best stuff within Sonic in
Yeah, the
each
cool-
Sonic game.
the cool thing about speed strats is that it's made by fans.
Yeah,
It's made by fans, just like you and me
Mhm.
and us.
It's
yeah.
made by the
Woo.
fans that Sega keeps held in their basement. Let them out. All they have is a computer. It has no form of communication, only Adobe Premiere.
So that's how Alex edits.
Oh,
But yeah, no, I agree with Micah. I fucking love this embracement of jankiness, but
Mhm.
and speed running within these games.
Mhm.
I think you could have so much more fun with the speed if you brought down the scale a little bit. Because I
Mm.
feel like as much as it's like grand and awing at first to like go through this big world with these massive structures and these huge titans, and then like you play it and you're like, oh, this is taking forever. I don't want to go up this massive mountain again. Oh, I fell off the fucking titan. I don't want to climb back up it. I might just quit.
Oh,
Well,
but worst thing ever. Worst thing ever. I think Ares Island is very hard to navigate
It is.
at points.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially with the lack of a mini map. Which is a huge thing. Never make a fucking open world or open zone game, and then don't give us a mini map. Like-
what do you mean you didn't use the compass at the top of the screen that told you jack shit?
Fuck the
Be quiet.
compass. Columbus
Also-
could use a compass. I couldn't. And Columbus was a bad person, so therefore I don't use compasses.
Columbus
Didn't
used
even-
a Columbus used a fucking compass and went the wrong way.
Yeah, Columbus
okay?
didn't even find the
Wrong
place he was
way.
looking for.
He went the wrong fucking way. Fucking dumbass.
Ivan, you haven't really
Yeah.
said much. What's your opinion on the like cyberspace and open zone?
The second I played it, I said, "This is awful. This is not good," and it just stayed that way forever until the end.
Fair.
That's pretty much it.
For cyberspace or the open zone gameplay?
Kind of just both.
Oh.
Cyberspace. No, for open zone,
Oh,
I thought this is very janky, but I have fun sometimes, and the other times it's just like, yeah, this is rushed.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna say that.
I
Say it.
Like, I think
I was gonna say you're the Aaron Hansen of
Hmm.
Sonic Frontiers, eh?
Yes,
Oh, Lord.
except I'm not bad at the game.
Mikey, you've said this like before, and I think it's really stuck with me for just this game, and just like looking back on games I've played beforehand. You said like it's this game's not perfect. Well, let's make that clear. Sonic Frontiers, for all
Oh,
its
yeah.
like good points, it's not
Yeah.
perfect. There's little snags, but it's something you said like sometimes a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 game just hits differently.
See, that's what I'm saying. I got that from a Twitter post. I forget exactly who said it, but I don't know. Sometimes something about perfect games, like
God of War.
for example, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's really good, and it's very memorable. But because of it being so memorable, I have no reason to really go back to it.
Is that the new one?
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard. It's I think it's just a thing I think about because like we got games like The Last of Us 2, Rift
Yeah.
Apart, God of War, Ragnarok, games that are like 10 out of 10 across the board. These people like the critics love it and stuff, and it's got a great story. But I just think just like the gameplay, like replayability and loop is like. Is this something I want to go back to? Because it feels like a game I would just be one and done with, and I wouldn't touch for like a good
Yeah.
few years. Well, like with Rift Apart as the example, I beat it, and then I wanted to do a challenge run again, but I just wasn't there. I just wasn't feeling it. But like with
Yeah.
Frontiers, like I mean, Micah can attest for that. Like he's played it 3 times. I've also played it 3 times. Like there's something
No,
about it
better
just
than
hits a
me.
little differently, you know?
no, you go first.
It's okay. It's something where like after I beat it, I want to go back and see how fast I can beat it again. And it's not just because otherwise like a game that's like feels perfect like Rift Apart where like I feel with Rift Apart I feel like I've already done all I can. With Sonic Frontiers, I feel like there's so much more I can do and break the game.
Yeah.
Or like what if I like rail grind on this one and like jump over this and get there faster, or
What if I were to
shit like
purchase
that.
fast food and disguise it as my own cooking?
It's the jankiness that I can use and benefit from to like get through the game faster.
Like, you
Go
could
ahead,
play
Liam.
this game and, like, you could just, like, not level Sonic up at all with all the stats.
Oh yeah,
And you could just
Yeah.
use it as a self-imposed challenge run. Like, this is replayability in, like, probably its best form, I think.
exactly.
I think the thing that separates the perfect game from the 7 out of 10 game is that the perfect game is when you're done with it, you're satisfied. You're like, oh, this is perfect. When you go back to the 7 out of 10 game, because of its imperfections, you want more. Like you're chasing something in there that makes you
True.
want to keep playing it. And I think that's what's so alluring about Sonic is that he has never had a perfect game.
Yeah,
He's a
ever
super
will.
The perfect
and I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
the perfect game is just that one King Neptune scene where he's like making all the Krabby Patties, and SpongeBob is just like making his own one little one with love.
Yeah, yeah. It's like another example. Like for a 7 out of 10 game is like No More Heroes 3 for me, which is a game with a shit ton of flaws. It does not look great at all either sometimes. But it has a lot of heart, and you can tell that with Sonic Frontiers, where it has a lot of heart and love put into it, even though it's not perfect.
Mm.
Which makes it kind of more replayable.
That's me with, like, Jack 2. Like, that's a game I find, like, I mean, time I ever played it, I fucking hated it, but now I love it, so.
Yeah.
But that's not Sonic, so.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, no one cares about non-Sonic.
hey, shut your ass up. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, so there's this cool new thing that they added to the game. It's called combat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sonic
Yeah,
can
well,
throw hands and shoot out anime projectiles. What the fuck? This shit's metal.
it's okay. No,
It's-
just kidding.
It's
No,
serviceable for the game. It's not perfect, much like this game, but it works.
I enjoy it. It obviously it can, like any Sonic thing, it can be built upon, but
Mm-hmm.
it is really fun in what they've given. It's a part of the game where I like to go back on and see how fast I can beat enemies. And I do
It is my
enjoy
favorite
doing
part of the
like
game.
It's very
Yeah.
fucking.
I
It's
like
very
being as flashy as I can.
I think my problem with the combat is, like, if for, like, the regular enemies you fight and the Guardians, it's fine. I think the combat shines its best when you're fighting the Titans. I feel.
that's very true. I think it's very bare bones.
Mhm.
If they expanded the fuck out of that skill tree, it'd be gas.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
If they made that skill tree so much bigger, maybe even like separated the little things, like even like separated into two skill trees, like with like the tricks don't need to be on your skill tree. That should
Mhm.
not be a part of the skill tree. What it should be is you have your combat skill tree and you have your like movement and like speed skill tree.
Like Spider-Man.
And, like,
Oh, you know
yeah,
what?
like Spider-Man. Exactly
Yeah.
like Spider-Man.
On like give us rail grind tricks like in Rush.
Oh,
that'd be
Just
sick.
just add more things to Sonic's repertoire or however you say it.
give
Where
him more
he
party
just-
tricks.
Give him
Yeah,
give him some
more party tricks.
give him abilities from older titles that you could give a new coat of paint. Like, give him the light speed attack, but make it like
Yeah.
floor it better into the combat. And maybe even the movement
Yeah.
too.
Give me
anything that benefits him during movement or during like little moments of kind of nothing, like rail grinding, where you're just doing it. Just add something to do during it, and it adds so much more. Go
give
ahead, Matt.
me the little ballerina twirl from 3D Blast. I'm golden. Golden.
He's
I
right.
think-
This is what this game was missing.
He's gonna slay the enemies.
He sure is.
See slay.
Yeah, Liam.
I think I'm the only one here that felt the combat at it's great till like the third island where I feel you have too many flashy abilities and they ruin the flow. Cuz like me personally, like there's some where I feel they halt when I'm having fun comboing an enemy to show me something cool that does not
Fair.
look cool enough to justify them wasting my time.
Yeah, I think
Like
You're right.
there's the fucking like air loop kick that sucks
Yeah.
dick. There's like he like what's the one where he jumps back and does like a homing shot with like 10 little projectiles that does like
Yeah,
no
that one.
I
damage?
think that's just called the homing shot.
Yeah, like, and it only accentuated it, like how much more these abilities bothered me when I got to the supersonic fights, because I think the supersonic fights control like dog shit. Like I was
Right.
clipping through the
Yeah.
bosses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be.
And-
I mean, there's still a highlight of the game, but like
Oh,
they could be
they're
better.
so cool, but like after a while, the wow factor of like, oh, he's doing this cool like move I saw him do like 10 times that isn't as cool, and the more I'm seeing it, it's the more janky it's looking, and I'm like, maybe this isn't as fun. I think personally, if we're gonna go with the combat, if we're gonna expand on anything in this gameplay, I would love to shrink the worlds, work a little bit more on giving me better things to do in the world, like with the little like ignore the 2D sections. Make the combat like flow better, because like that's my main thing. When a Sonic game, I want to go fast and I want to have flow, and then like work that into the puzzles, because I feel like you have this like golden opportunity to have like the most free flow Sonic ever.
I think it's definitely there because I think you're right. Like some of the moves are flashy, but they're not snappy. Like the snappiest combo finisher I can think of is just like the stomp, because it's very quick and you can just keep back into the combat. But like
Yeah.
by the
It's
end of the
tough.
game, there's probably like two moves you use, which is just cross slash and then just whatever else. I mean, this
The
game,
Sonic
Sonic, if Sonic fought Shadow in this game, he'd be running circles around him.
Dude, pulling off combos is like, I love seeing like how high I could get the combo meter to go, and the fact that there were
Yes.
some moves that literally when I did them prohibited me from like getting more but like it's like ruining my combo. Like there's so much wait time between this. How am I gonna get back? And it sends me like 10 feet away from the enemy. I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed. This would be so fucking fire.
It's funny because you could still like jump into them. Like you could still jump into enemies and hit them with the drop dash, but like I'm gonna be honest, if this game was just the homing attacks, sure, I'd probably be a little bit more critical of it.
Okay. Also, okay, so I think on the subject of the combat, I think a big problem for me is Kronos Island. All of the standard like little grunt guys go down in one hit.
Yeah.
That sucks because it doesn't give you time to get used to the combat. You don't like yeah, you can fight ninja, but then you have to wait for the fucking shooting stars to come down from the respawn. So there's literally so you can't really get a good feel for what the combat's gonna be like. Otherwise, like yeah, there's like 4 or 5 other like guardians sprawled throughout the island, but like I want to be able to fight everything, and that's why I think Ares Island and everything afterwards is so much better. Is so much better because everything is like, because not everything goes down in one hit. Everything is like has like a health bar that you can actually like fight. I actually get to fight somebody,
I think
which is pretty cool.
I think the grunts just needed to be a bit better variety of the grunts.
Yeah.
Because they're all
One.
just like the same coat of paint with just like different abilities. I think some of them should have just maybe less groups of like the grunts and more just like specific ones. Like you got
More of those
the
dogs.
you got the standard one which will attack. You got the one that can put up a barrier, and then you got maybe like the dog.
Awful.
Yeah, the dog's not the greatest.
No, the dogs are cool, but like they're annoying. They're annoying to deal with.
Yeah,
But the ones that put up the shields are terrible.
yeah, you have to,
Because because you have to use the quick you have to side loop them, or you can
Mhm.
use the quick side loop. And the quick side loop is fucking terrible because it's on a cooldown. It has a fucking meter. Why? Why? I don't know.
the parry.
You should be able to quick side loop anything.
The parry as well is the parry's fine. I just think like it's a bit too
It's too OP.
it's too overpowered. They need the window. I mean, you jump and you just hold the parry. And Sonic will just stay there for. I don't actually know how long he stays up there
Frozen.
for.
You'll just stay there. You'll just stay there forever.
Yeah, they need
I
I
to.
think
think
let go
like
of the button.
30 seconds or a minute.
Jesus,
Yeah.
the window for the parry needed to be, or at least the how long you could hold it needed to be shortened down tremendously. Although, because I think if you could just like hold the parry and like earn into that bullet time, you're pretty much set to go.
It should be a actual parry.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that this is a Sonic game and like
This is for kids.
and this is for kids, and you also want to keep Sonic is kind of like about keeping your momentum a little bit. So like you want to like beat the shit out of these guys and then keep it jumping. So
It should have been linked to the difficulty. If it
Yeah.
was like on easy mode, should have been like more open with timing.
yeah, there's those difficulty options mean nothing. By
They
the way,
kind of don't.
they mean nothing. The only thing they add is an extra boss fight that's not a fucking boss fight. It's a mini game with a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the Guardians are hit or miss, I think. Like Ninja's probably the best Guardian to fight because I think it's more in line with the gameplay. Every other Guardian though,
The grunts.
I like the one
should
you
have been-
climb.
towers
the
are
grunt should have
okay.
been kind of more like the ninja enemy, just like not as strong,
Yeah.
but where you're just like it's just fun combat instead, but more
Thing is-
reflexes.
Thing is, like they just repaint Ninja for all the
Yeah.
islands instead of making new ones. But they
Oh,
do make
yeah.
new ones, but it's just like why only keep Ninja?
Yeah.
Why don't you make harder versions of the other ones?
They made him and they're like, I like him. We're gonna put him on everything.
Give me
Kunoichi.
like
He is the most fun one in my opinion.
yeah. Ninja's probably the
Because
best
he
one.
actually
Maybe
fights.
He actually fights.
Towers, okay, I guess.
I
It's
like
fun.
Towers.
It's terrible.
Tower's funny when you get on top of it and just like stomp and watch it fall over.
Tower gives
Yeah.
me the lifelong dream of fighting a stoplight, which is great.
The ones you have to grind, I don't like them.
Nope.
Yeah.
The tank one actually is I kind of like the one that sucks you into the sand tornado and you have to time the homing attacks. That's fine.
A little annoying though.
A little bit,
annoying.
but
Little
I
annoying.
enjoy it more than
Shark was funny.
Shark sucks.
Shark is very funny.
Shark is a little funny. A little too long in
A
some
little
certain
too
areas.
a little too long, but
Yeah.
he's a little goofy guy.
Ghost
He
is
is a
something.
Ghost is Ghost.
Ghost is
Ghost
ghost.
is-
Terrible. It's
Good
a
stuff.
good idea. It's a good idea. Terrible execution.
It had penis music.
I think that, but yeah,
Um,
I think there's a lot that could be done. Like if Ninja had like a samurai counterpart where you have to actually use the parry, like you have to like be cautious when you have to use the parry. You can't just spam it and give yourself that window.
Mhm.
like the samurai enemies in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Maybe
boy.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts 2, but like one,
Damn it.
like there's a like you imagine like a guardian that's like ninja samurai it has like a sword and you have to like wait for you gotta just like attack it, but then you gotta watch out for when it'll do a quick strike. You gotta hit it with the parry. Actually, no, the more I say about it, the more it kind of breaks the flow of the combat. Ignore me.
I when it comes to enemies, I gotta say though, I love the designs. They're all great.
Yes.
All the like cyber like the enemy designs are really good. Like all the guardians and the titans especially.
Yeah.
They're menacing and
The
those-
Titans.
except for
The
Supreme.
Titans are a little. Oh yeah.
Supreme is just Giganto with a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a gun. That's it that it doesn't use.
Yeah.
And the boss sucks.
Yeah. It's just Gigantor.
Supreme should have had 2 stages. It should have become a god at the end.
Should
Not
have.
just Sage's vehicle. You know?
Ikaruga, anyone?
What if I were to get my own Titan and disguise it as no? What if I were to get a different Titan and disguise that as my own?
Delightfully devilish, Ivan.
I want to something I was gonna say way back. So it's a little sidetrack. When it came to Liam, he said that he was kind of like think they should kind of ditch the cyberspace. I think they should keep it, but just keep it as like a special zone more so. Just like an additional thing that you can go to and quickly go through like level.
If it was maybe like a special stage, I could be more down with it. But like, I don't know how you can like contextualize it in the story again.
I think
Fair.
cyberspace needed not to just be like the boost game because I mean it's weak. I think cyberspace needed to be more in line with what you do in the
Adventure.
open zone. I think to just it's sort of like a challenge. It's almost like it's a challenge. I think like you just
Fair.
because
The
I mean
vaults-
cyberspace just reuses generation assets again.
You know what it should have been? So every time you beat a cyberspace level, you get the vault keys.
Yeah.
Why the fuck isn't why do that instead of doing that? Make the Chaos Emerald Vault the cyberspace gate. Just put them in, just smash them into one and make it like holy shit.
That's a good idea actually.
Just make it one.
Yeah.
Just make it one thing.
Yeah.
No
Frontiers.
need for that.
Frontiers is this checklist of things you need to get to collect other things before you can collect the big thing.
But then you get too many of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can S rank like 3 cyberspace levels and then never have to touch them again because you can open all the Chaos Emerald vaults
True.
by the time you're done.
But
It is the quickest way to get the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah.
Now imagine if your inventory carried over from each island, you wouldn't have to play the game.
Oh my god.
That's probably why they reset it. So,
Probably.
fellas, unfortunately, something has come up, and I'm unfortunately being sucked into cyberspace right now.
No.
Please
No.
collect my tokens so I can be free from cyberspace.
We
won't.
gotta save Doc.
Yeah,
No, I
won't.
think
save me.
he's fine there.
Yeah, I know you guys are gonna leave me there. I mean, Big's here, so I'll have company.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Bye, dog.
Bye,
Sorry.
Bye, Doc. No.
Zavok.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's dead. He's fucking dead.
I'm replacing him with my sock puppet.
What's his name? What's his little name?
Doc Sock.
Doc Sock.
Got it. But yeah, I think those. What were we talking about? We were talking about the vault keys and shit.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. What do we think of like all the collecting?
It wasn't that bad. I did not like the fact that you can like Psyloop for extra rings and tokens. If you're gonna put the tokens in the game, if you're gonna put the tokens in the area, just make it so those are the only things I have to collect.
It was a little boring.
It was a little, yeah, because like at point, I think on the final island was the only time, but like they're usually abundant enough to the point where I don't have to like sit there and Psyloop for 4 hours. I didn't have to sit there and Psyloop for 4 hours. it wasn't until Oranos Island where shit got like gritty, got real gritty. Like I was down bad. Like every
Matt,
time I had to talk to Sage, I didn't have enough tokens.
I'm gonna wait for that playthrough, that stream playthrough where you only use the side loop to collect everything.
It's never happening.
I need
It's
to
not
see
fun.
it.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
Side loop percent.
Silent person.
I feel like
it is
without
OP.
the ability
It's
to collect
OP.
stuff in the side loop, it would have been a lot harder. Not harder, but it would have been a lot more tedious to play through the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
Because like rings get taken away from you so quickly.
they
So
do.
if you have to like scrunch around looking for them.
well, I mean the rings. I think the rings are okay because they're more of a health pickup than anything.
hmm
I think that like collectibles to progress like the story should not be hidden behind something that you can spam and you can spam to collect.
It's not that spammable though.
It's not that spammable, but
Like I sat down I think I did the side loop for 5 minutes straight in a circle just to see how many rings and shit I could get. It didn't help. Like I tried abusing it. It didn't really work for me.
hmm
And I like the ability to collect stuff. I don't know how I feel about it being like a super big part of the game. Like I would never want Mario 64 level of like
No.
collect or Banjo Kazooie like level of collectibles. But I think it's cool to add a little bit of a collectathon aspect to Sonic, especially in
Mhm.
these open zone areas where you need something to keep you going.
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah.
I just like my thing isn't get rid of the collectibles. It's get rid of the option to like
Balance it.
like get rid of don't make them drop with the side loop. I don't want them. Don't do like same thing with like the little gears. Don't drop them. Like let me collect the gears in the game in the area that I'm running around in.
Mm.
Like keep it that way. Or
They
like
could,
if
yeah,
yeah,
they
if
could definitely balance it a lot more.
yeah, and I just didn't like that because like I think that also the Guardians should have been on a respawn cooldown or something that was different. I don't know. Like a
Hmm.
different respawn cooldown than what they were on. Because when the Blood Moon rised, I was like, yeah.
On that topic, I thought it's not really weird, it's very understandable because they were rushed. How in the beginning with the tower boss, you can get 3 cogwheels or whatever they're called out of it. But
Oh
for
yeah,
the
you
rest you
can.
can only get like 1. And like where'd that imagination go?
That's strange. Yeah.
That would have been really cool that if you got different amount of cogwheels depending on like how difficult you killed it. Like
Yeah.
if you killed a boss in a different way, you could get more. That'd be really sick. But I think
That would.
sorry, not boss. I meant like guardians. But I also think that would be cool to add to the bosses too, because the bosses are very one dimensional.
They kind of get to be that. Yeah.
I think so now what it's time to discuss the Titans. The
Mhm.
Titans. My favorite Titan overall was Knight. Banger song. And it was a pretty cool fight. Uh I had to learn how to use the parry.
I know we were gonna save the music discussion for later, but I feel like you can't talk about the
You
Titan
can't talk about
without
it without
talking about how fucking cool it is to bring Kellen Quinn from fucking Sleeping
Mm,
with Sirens in to do all the boss music.
I
so
mean
good.
we was it our last episode we talked about like music? I don't
We
remember.
talked about how we thought it was gonna be Vic Fuentes.
Oh yeah.
and it wasn't, and
Mhm.
we were disappointed.
It wasn't, but it was like the next best thing.
Yeah, but going back to Night, fuck Night. I stand by that, cause fucking I hated that Beyblade fucking son of a bitch.
You're good.
It's not. It was fucking janky.
I don't know. I was kind of slightly, very slightly let down by Night. I feel like
I was very
My-
let down.
that little like basically mini game is a little too janky. Personally, I enjoyed the second Titan fight the most.
Same.
It because that just felt like a full on like final boss type fight.
That's what I would imagine that all the supersonic fights were leading up to. Because
Mhm.
when you fight, what's his name, Giganto, which is a dumb fucking name. I hate his name.
Giganto. I think it's not Giganto. It's like Giganto. It's like
No, it's Giganto.
Yeah, Giganto. I feel like a child walked into the boss room, saw it, and went Giganto, and they were like, "Oh fuck, we gotta name it that now."
Well, I thought it was because he's a giant and it's like based off like the Greek thing, like Gigas or whatever.
They're all giants.
And
Maybe.
he has really big toes.
He has no toes.
But I think that fight is the best. Like, I think it's like the most like well-rounded, like simplest one. It's like easy, but like
Mhm.
I did die a couple times to it.
What?
Okay, listen, I was not prepared. I did not have enough rings when I went into that Titan fight.
Makes sense.
Because I wasn't thinking about like, Psy Lupin. I wasn't thinking about that because I don't do that shit because it's at least not. I don't like that aspect back on that, but I think the music, just everything, the cinematic, the presentation, the music, just makes those boss fights like
It does.
amazing.
Yeah. It's yeah, you really cannot like take the music out of the boss because they're both just it amplifies the experience a lot more. Because when I first played the Giganto boss, I had a big smile on my face. I was
Yeah.
with the music and like being supersonic and flying around Giganto. It was a really great first experience.
Controllable supersonic. Never
Controllable.
thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
In quotations,
Did-
I'd say controllable.
In quotations.
Yeah, because for the first minute of that fight, I was like Micah. I was a child, so I was kicking my legs in fucking excitement, dude. Like every fucking wrinkle in my ADHD brain was scratched by that. And then I clipped through the boss 3 times.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that's the thing. There, because it's fully controllable supersonic in like an open space like that, and a huge model.
Mhm.
The camera
Yeah.
is fighting
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
think that's why I like the Wyvern fight. I think that's his name.
The
Yeah.
Wyvern.
Yeah, the Wyvern. I think I liked him the most because the camera. It's the most cinematic fight for sure, and a lot of it's unabated, but I don't really care because it looks so fucking cool. It puts itself in a practical yet like dynamic way. You have the missiles
Exactly.
fucking coming at you. Where like, when I first saw the missiles, I thought they were like part of the background because they were so far away. But as they come close to you, you're like, oh fuck, no, it's actually coming at me. I have to move.
Yeah, and you can also
I
like
didn't
parry
like
it.
Wyvern.
It's fucking heat, dude.
It is.
I think like we all can agree that Supreme is the worst boss in the game, but that one's like right above it.
What?
Hey.
You hate the Wyvern? Second.
Wyvern. I don't like Wyvern.
Really?
What is your
That's
favorite?
crazy.
Oh wow.
Choosing between Knight and Giganto's like choosing between 2 B grades. So I'm like, Knight. No. Giganto,
Oh.
Giganto. Final answer. Steve Harvey, give me my money.
Survey says.
Survey says, yo ass.
Oh, did you guys see what Kellen Quinn tweeted the day Frontiers came out?
No, I
What?
didn't. What did he tweet?
He fucking retweeted like someone. I don't know if it was ironic or not, but it was like a bass, like a Sonic bass, like uncolored, just the outlines, and it was like a recolor to match his outfit and hair.
That's
Oh
funny.
Huh.
That's fucking
funny.
fun. I like that.
Like, okay, so we were talking about like the experience of when like we first opened up that fucking
Yeah.
boss, like turned supersonic for the first time.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally like I when supersonic like descends onto the screen and then you hear I was like, I'm not gonna fucking try to sing that shit. When Undefeatable starts fucking playing, I was like, yo, is this who I think it is? Nah, no way. And I like flashed back to like 2012, like middle school, and I was like,
Mm.
it's my boy. He's here. And I was like,
It's-
no way.
It's like the
Oh my
Ratatouille
god, it's
scene.
Panic at the Disco.
Be quiet.
It's like the Ratatouille scene where Matt just like takes a sees and flashes back to his childhood.
I literally like I still have my my Sleeping with Sirens t-shirt that I bought from Hot Topic in 2012. It's in it doesn't fit me anymore, but it's in my drawer.
I know Liam's fucking music boy brain was tingling after hearing as soon as it like the lyrics popped out, vocals.
No, because like, so I think this was I don't know if it was on the last podcast, but I talked about how I thought the people that did "I'm Here" was Vic Fuentes from Pierce the Veil. And if you know Pierce the Veil, you know their fucking big song is "King for a Day," which has fucking Kellen Quinn with "Sleeping with Sirens" on it. And I think I said something, and someone in my fucking I said like, "Oh, this better be Vic Fuentes doing the theme." And someone in reply said, "Nah, it might be Kellen Quinn." And in my head, I was like, "Oh, if it's Kellen Quinn, I'd fucking shit myself." And I get 3 fucking Kellen Quinn songs in a Sonic game. I shit myself. I will say though, the guy from Danger Kids,
Mhm.
on the what's the Find Your Flame?
Night.
Find your home, yeah.
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 The night.
I love you, but he should have done me a favor and shut the fuck up on that song because he uses the same flow on everything he raps on to the point where I was hearing Find Your Flame one day and it was just the rap part and I thought I was listening to Infinite.
Literally, when I first heard that song, it's like, and that like part came up, I was like, wait, this is just Infinite.
He does
It has
rap
the
in
same
in
like
that
flow.
song.
It's the only
Same
flow he can
flow.
rap with. If you listen to any Danger Kids song, it's the same flow.
Real good song.
Real
But
good
that's
song
the,
though.
That's a thing I noticed.
Oh,
I
and we should talk
Yeah.
about. I hate to interrupt you, Matt, but we should get to this point eventually. The
Mhm.
final boss being a fucking
Mhm.
shoot 'em up.
I feel like we've just been throwing little bits and pieces and seeds about it throughout the
Yeah.
entire episode. And I will say right now, okay, first mistake, not
Mhm.
giving me a health bar. Why don't I have a health bar? Why does the motherfucker have a health bar but I don't? Okay? Like if we're going to be doing this shit, then we both need to like be on equal standings. So that because like if I go down in 4 hits, then what the fuck is the point? All right? What's the point of playing? And your little pea shooter does nothing. There's literally nothing. You're just sitting there spamming the 2 buttons over. I think it's like square and triangle over and over again, hoping that he'll die faster. There's just no way. And you're just hoping for your rockets to come out, and they don't come out.
It's really bad. Because even though I played the game later than everyone, because I was poor, I still am poor.
True,
fuck
same.
it. And I didn't know about the final boss. I just remember hearing everyone say, "Oh, it's really disappointing." And I remember when I got to it, I was so like, this is like this might be cool. This might be heat." And then I saw the layout, and it was the same as the hacking minigame I fucking despised. I put my controller down in disappointment. It hurt to like for it to be so fucking anticlimactic.
I had to put the game down. I literally put the game down and came back to it like the next day.
See, I played Near Automata, and it has like that exact same shit in it, so I'm used to it.
So you've been
That's not
blue-balled like
fun.
this before.
I've been blue ball. No, it should have been a 2-phase final boss.
It's exactly.
That should have been like the first phase, and the last phase should have been like a finale, like supersonic fight.
That shouldn't have been in there, period, to me.
It
Like,
should not. It should not have
because
existed.
the hacking minigame, no one gave a fuck. I will say the second hardest boss in this game is the pinball machine.
True.
Uh,
True. Very true.
I lost the pinball machine 6 times.
Hey,
Yeah,
my brother in
it's either
arms.
it's either like a 4-minute like little game, or it's like spending an hour on that pinball machine.
Yeah, no.
It's neither
How-
one.
How did y'all feel during that one weird ass laser puzzle in the first island?
That
Oh god,
I had to watch a guide. I had to watch a guide.
it I raw dogged it, but
Hello?
it either like was, like I said with the pinball game, it was either fast or it took forever.
'Cause I went into it raw and I couldn't figure it out to save my fucking life.
Mhm.
So then I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm looking up a guide. And yeah. And then there's some there are also some of the challenges, some of the trials, like little challenges and things that you do that are fucking scuffed as fuck and don't make sense. I think there was this one on like Chronos where you had to like follow the lights at nighttime or some shit, and it just wasn't clear where I was supposed to go because the camera didn't direct me. I think that like if there was ever a time for you to take control of the camera from me, game, it was then to like point me in the right direction. Because I ended up running the wrong way and failed the challenge multiple times, and then it was daytime by the time I made it back over there. Sad.
Ratio.
Sad day. Ivan, I'll kick you off my podcast.
It's my podcast now.
Oh, you think so?
Damn, you think so, huh?
Yeah.
You're fired.
can I get his bonus?
What bonus?
What
I'm not
bonus?
paying you
You
guys.
guys didn't get the bonuses? Oh.
What?
Oh, God.
Oh, Liam's tax fraud arc.
The Montana office once again.
I
Um,
I think a huge aspect of this game I'd love to see explored upon. I think I was talking about this earlier. I'd like to see better puzzles. Because
Yeah.
that laser puzzle was the epitome of everything I don't want in the Sonic game. I think the ones where you were like running on the treadmill was like really fun. I think you need puzzles that incorporate Sonic's speed and his abilities to be in fun and little charming ways to keep the player interested.
Yeah.
Especially if this gameplay style continues, I'd love a a globe-trotting adventure of like going to different places with many big areas within
Mhm.
like the Sonic world that like I feel like these puzzles could be utilized so much better in a stylized world. Like the super realistic islands is pretty, but I think in a slightly more stylized way, we could get something that's a little bit more interesting that wouldn't have to rely upon as as many 2D sections or incorporate them in a better way.
I agree.
let me travel. Let me travel to South Island, and like do like frontier shit in South Island, dude.
Mm.
You go through every single area, not just the Sonic 1 areas like Genesis. Let me go to Bridge Zone, dude.
Bring back
Uh,
Green Hill again.
No.
Bring
No,
bring back
no.
Green Hill.
Everyone stop
Br-
fucking crying. Bring it back.
Bring
Yeah,
back
you know what?
bring
Yeah.
back Bridge Zone.
cares?
Bring back Bridge Zone.
Who's the name of the director again? Is it Kishimoto?
Kishimoto, yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, we need to go to him and be like, we want classic Sonic back, we want Green Hill back, and just for
No.
him to respond and be like, okay,
Go in his
noted.
DMs. I'm like, hey, all this shit you're doing, stop.
I do see why they call it open zone, because it definitely feels more like a playground rather than an open world, like Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's something. It's just an open area for. Oh my god. It's a just a real space for Sonic to like move around and like find new things to play with, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the music, but
Mhm.
like, is there any like, and we've kind of like glanced over the presentation, but is there any other things like that we wanna
All
talk about?
all,
Mm,
all I could say, well, with the music, I love the OST, and I love the mixture of all of the different styles. It's one of the most varied Sonic OSTs like since like 2000 Sonic 06 or Unleashed.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that. I also love the cyberspace OST. I know some people it's not everyone's cup of tea. But it has that like kind of pop techno, all that shit. It's a real fun mixture. And some of the OST just I don't know, it's kind of like familiar and nostalgic in a way.
I actually don't like how there's 7 island themes that progress because like then I don't remember which each one is.
Oh. Huh.
I have not listened to the soundtrack since it came out. I'm probably gonna sit down and listen to it one of these days. I only listen to like the vocal themes because
Yeah.
they're bangers.
They're bangers.
And Find Your Flame is constantly on my TikTok.
So
Like
good.
like there's guys who are like taking like sprite fights, like the old sprite fights and shit, like the Super Mario Bros. Z
Oh.
and stuff, and
Yeah.
they're putting them to the tune of like the Frontiers music, and it's like I've seen the Fire Sonic transformation like 20 times.
I think the soundtrack is interesting. I like the mixture of everything. I think it's a nice, cute little package. I will say one thing.
Hmm.
Dear Father is a great song till you get to the chorus.
It is supposed to be this sad song, but the vocals don't match that energy.
I
It's a little weird at
it's
times.
not that it's not matching the energy, I don't think. I think it's just I don't like that it's falsetto. Like it sounds too much. I know it's meant to be like a little girl singing, like it's Sage
Mhm.
singing. I don't like that. I'm normally not like this, but the the singer in the chorus, her voice is so pretty until it gets to the chorus, and that's when it gets like ear grating.
What happened to
Don't
that one
place
lady they got for the Forces credits? Where'd she go?
Where is she?
don't play
She
Speak with
came
Your
for
Heart
just that
on.
one song.
If you get in my car and you start playing Speak with Your Heart,
Oh, not and especially not the ultimate mix.
it's a really nice tune. That's so off topic, but I just wanted to bring it up.
What One Way Dream is a really, really nice song.
Mhm.
I man.
I liked One Way Dream.
It's uplifting.
But and it gives me hope for the future of the Sonic franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Nice melody.
But
Yeah.
I kind of was very sad when I hit the credits and didn't hear Vandalize. I was definitely a little disappointed
Yeah,
because that was what I was looking forward to the most.
Mm.
this whole game is the whole like end of it is so disappointing. Also, you guys brought up what was it? One Way Dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one where Nate Wants to Battle sings it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nate Wants to Battle, but I can't listen to any song he sings because it just sounds like someone translating a Japanese song into English,
Mm.
and it just sounds like anime opening covers, and I don't really fuck with it.
But
Unfortunate.
I get
I
what
get,
you mean. I
yeah.
completely understand.
Me too.
I think I felt I felt that way when instead of the Bowling for Soup guy, it was him singing Endless Possibilities at the Sonic
Mm.
Symphony, and I was like, damn.
He did great there, I think.
He did great there though.
But like when I hear him sing sometimes, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the fucking Smash Ultimate colors weave into a spire of flame, and it's like that doesn't sound good.
That
But
song feels like family
but
right?
he was singing. But he was singing.
he put his little heart into it.
He was
He did.
singing.
Said that like he's a little guy. He's older than me.
He was singing. He was singing. I think the game visually, from a visual standpoint, looks pretty decent. Looks pretty good. I don't really have any crazy fucking like. This looks ugly. Like my own, because like, look at the state of modern Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like I cannot be mad at Sonic Frontiers for having like level elements always fucking visual, like always visible at all times. Like, because like my immersion was never really properly broken because I wasn't looking for the pop-in. But like with modern Pokemon, when like I'm looking at a character's face and their fucking and their eyes are a PNG, you lost me. You lost me. Or like a scuffed ass JPEG. You lose me. You lose me.
I will get mad. Pokemon fans are experiencing what Sonic fans have felt for the last 15 years, and they can suck my cock. They've had it too good for too long, you fucking billion-dollar franchise. But no, that fucking pop-in is unacceptable considering that the only thing they had to do was fix it, was turn off a switch.
That is crazy.
And the fact that it hasn't been patched since is still bonkers to me.
It is.
But like from me personally, I wasn't like it didn't break my immersion. It didn't really break my immersion or anything. It was just like, okay, cool. That thing is there now. But like I wasn't looking for it. I was just kind of like, I think I was just like just so happy to play a Sonic game again that I wasn't looking for anything like negative. I wasn't looking for the bads. So like I just didn't care about the pop-in or anything.
Same.
It was just like, okay, that just appeared, but it wasn't like it appeared in front of my face and like blocked me from running forward. I just saw it from a distance. If you're playing Minecraft with like a shitty PC, me, and then like the world loads right in front of your face and you smack into a tree, like that shit's egregious. But like
While
with Sonic
replaying,
with Sonic Frontiers didn't have that problem. To me.
while replaying, I've had that issue where I'm running and then like I stop right in my tracks because like something is blocking it, but I can't see, and like I go around it and I can feel that it's a rock, but it's not loading in, and then like 10 seconds later, poof, it's there.
Oh,
It's like I don't understand.
What version of the game were you playing?
Switch.
I was playing on Switch and PC.
Yeah.
Oh,
It happened in the same area in Ornos.
I did not encounter that at all.
Me neither.
I had some really bad pop-in that like fucked me up.
PlayStation superiority.
I was on PlayStation. Suck my dick.
Damn.
Well, you got that launch PS4, brother. You got that launch PS4.
I can hear your fans roaring from here.
Be quiet. I can hear your Steam Deck crying out on their fucking table.
You're just bad you don't have one then.
Fuck you. You can cook bacon on the back of that shit.
Cut content. I think I saw a video the other day of like cut fucking QTE segments
Yeah,
from the final
Supreme.
boss.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I saw more
That's-
today.
Oh, really?
That's
There's
crazy.
actually on PC. There's actually like on Hedgehog Manager, a code to like put that back in already.
Wow.
They're that stable?
Apparently, I've not tried it.
Maybe they're saving those things for DLC.
There's like
Possibly.
there's like a janky cut scene of two of the what was the Beetle Guardian, I think it was.
Oh.
Them just like rolling
Caterpillar.
at each other and one of them drowning in the water.
There's also like a cut dialogue of Sonic and Sage talking about like going to the alien spaceship, like Mother spaceship or whatever.
Oh.
It's apparently possibly either for the 4th or 5th island, because I guess going from that there would have been like a little segment of just Mother spaceship, the destroyed like remains.
There's so much stuff just left in the files.
And then
Yeah.
there's like that. There's also that like dialogue, like the dialogue on Rhea of like Sonic like apparently losing his memories or some shit like that,
Yeah.
and then trying to like fight through the pain. I think a big thing for me, I think that was missing. And people hated this about like Heroes or Shadow or 06. I need my characters. I need the characters to talk again. Like to like I appreciate Sonic like talking to himself, but it just happens so sparingly. I wish he did it more.
Mm.
Honestly.
It was strange. A lot of people were complaining about the amount of references he makes, which I think is fucking ridiculous. Because
But it never
no one had
happens.
issues with it when he was referencing things they liked. I think they
Yeah.
only got mad when he referenced things they didn't like Zavik.
But like those references, those like little like moments where like with the dialogue, I ran into them about twice throughout the entire fucking game. Because I guess I just never like went to the area that triggers it. Like I just never encountered those, so I'd never had any problem with it until I never had any problem with it. I saw other people like complaining about it. I was like, "What? Why are you complaining about this? I've never seen this happen. This has never happened to me before."
Kind of adding on what you were saying, Matt, like with more just dialogue. It would have been interesting if they kind of did like kind of like the Sonic Forces radio, but where like throughout the world, Sonic and like the character on that island just kind of like talk to each other, and it's not like a cutscene, just like maybe like through a radio, or maybe I don't know. They just like have a little discussion here and there.
Maybe those egg memos should have been something that you picked up in the field,
That
or
too.
like whenever you went to like the Eggman bases on the Starfall Islands.
Yeah.
Like you find those in there. Like let me go inside.
Those
man.
were so
oh my
weird.
god.
Like because they're all like they all like are in different states. Like some of them are like destroyed or like on their side, and they're
Yeah.
like Sonic just like runs by and he's like, "Oh, I guess Eggman was here."
Like let me go inside, man. I want to go inside of it.
If the egg memos were in there, that would have been much better. Because the egg memos are actually kind of like important to the story and Sage.
Yeah, and it would have
And then the fishing minigame.
It's
Like-
just fishing.
like when you go inside those Eggman machines, it initiates a cutscene, and maybe Sage is like, "You should not be here. Da 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 da. Get the fuck out," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like you explore as you're exploring the ship and shit, and you're like, "Oh, what's this?" And you press play, and he's like, "Blah blah 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 blah." I don't understand why people liked Maria so much. She's a fucking dead baby. And then and he's like, "Whoa, talk about daddy issues much, Eggman?"
Oh my
Like,
god, no.
like, what?
Blonde
Like,
bitch
well,
had it coming to her.
let Eggman let Sonic react. I wanted Sonic to react to like what was being said in those. Not just fucking listening to them inside of a UI, dude.
I like how now we have canon characterization that Eggman was jealous of the Make-A-Wish child.
Holy shit! Oh god.
That's so funny.
Like that's character different. Like that's
Yeah.
motivation. It's
Yeah, because he just didn't get the attention, so he became evil.
So now he's an attention whore that tries to conquer the world so little mommy will pay attention to him.
Sad days. But yeah, let's just move on into like our little like before we close out the episode. Let's talk about the DLC. Sonic Sonic official released a little statement about like the little graphic about the Frontiers DLC. We're getting like I think we've gotten for like this year. I think we got the Christmas stuff. We're getting a sound test, right? Getting a sound test or some
We're
shit like that.
Getting
getting-
like a jukebox.
Yeah, jukebox. The update one is jukebox, photo mode, and new challenge modes.
Should have had photo mode in it from the start, but hey,
It
that's
should've.
just me.
And then update 2 will be Sonic's birthday, open zone challenge, and new Coco.
Mm.
Then update 3, which is the big one that people are really interested in seeing, is that we'll get new playable characters and new story.
What do you think that's gonna be?
I think personally it's just gonna be a little like contained within that little story. You'll have like little games with those like Sonic, Tails, and Amy. Amy, fucking Knuckles and Tails, where you just like play as them for a little bit.
I would love to see like a little bit more contextualization. Maybe like that's where all the cut content is going.
I would like that too.
Like what would be okay, so here's what I think. Here's what would be cool, right? So I'm gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts again. So in the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC Remind DLC, there's this part, or rather I think it's a part of the final boss. I don't remember. No, it is a part of the DLC. So basically everybody dies at some point, and Sora, this is big spoilers, sorry for
Yeah, it's
anybody who
fine.
was interested in playing. You have to go through like the endless void, and like you go through various like reuse level assets, and like fight bosses, to little mini bosses, to save like Sora's friends and shit. I would like to see that, maybe like contextualize like what Tails, Amy, and Knuckles were doing to like get Sonic back to like bring Sonic back to life.
Oh yeah,
Like do that, like make it like give it some weight.
that's a great idea.
Give it
Yeah,
some weight. Like make it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that you say that because that's not what it's going to be. In fact, it is going to be a little animated story. Do you guys remember the big open world adventure game that someone made?
Oh
Big
yeah.
It's just
Fishing
going to
Adventure?
be that.
one?
You're going to play as Big in the Frontier Worlds, and we're going to figure out how he got where he got and how he escapes. But no,
Oh, man.
realistically, I
like-
think we're going to get playable Sage.
Oh,
Nah,
'Cause
I
I
don't see it. Maybe for like a mini game, like final boss type playable.
I think it's gonna be a fucking shoot 'em up thing, like the fucking final boss, and it's gonna be Sage protecting Eggman in the fucking cyberspace.
I feel like the new playable character DLC is going to be gimped. Like, as in, it's only going to be for something specific and not like,
That's
overworld replacing Sonic.
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking too. It's definitely not going to be like full control over these characters.
Oh, I also wanted to bring up today or last night,
Mhm.
Kishimo was talking with someone like in a thread, and something very interesting they dropped is like maybe we'll be able to hide in something that's going to be like the core of the next game we're working on, like some feature or
Huh.
some new thing.
I think besides this update, what I really hope they do is some quality of life improvements. Mainly like certain just little things like Elder Coco where you
Mm.
no, not what no, it's the other Coco where
The
you
hermit,
level
the hermit. No, the
Actually-
hermit level.
actually,
The
no,
hermit
it-
level. Yeah, you're right. It's the elder.
it's the Elder Coco where you have to like do it one at a time, level
Yeah.
up one at a time. It's so annoying.
This shit was
Just
ass.
add a little like number of times you want to add on the side. It's so easy. Or
just,
like
just auto allocate.
Yeah.
Just
Or
auto
just-
allocate.
yeah, or the
When I
option
talk
to
to you.
replay bosses or like adjusting the cyberspace controls just a little. That's so easy.
I'm assuming that's what the open zone challenges are going to be. Probably just refighting the Titans.
Yeah.
Because there's
And-
not really much you can do besides that.
It would. This is just my little like dream wish listing. It'd be really cool if they added like a new game plus, or like a mirror mode where you just the whole game is mirrored. Shit like that would be so cool. Yeah.
I mean, they did it for Origins, so
Yeah, exactly. Just
Don't
little
see
things
why.
like that would make the game so much cooler too.
I also think that the first update is coming very, very soon. Because
Yeah, probably.
June is the window for the second update.
That's true because it's Sonic's birthday, and that's the second update. So
Do y'all got a gut feeling for when the first update's gonna drop?
next month.
I would say next month. Yeah.
February 22nd, 8 a.m.
That's
EST.
And I love that they're all free.
Yeah, it's all free.
Take notes, Bandai. Fucking Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC being fucking $50. Disgusting.
I do like that it's free, but at the same time, as a consequence, my expectations are down
Yeah, I mean,
because
yeah.
it is free.
Oh yeah. Also, give me the option as the only man who likes cyberspace levels. Give me the option to marathon those, not the arcade. Just like be able to like go through them one after another, please.
That should be in one of the challenge modes.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
So do you guys anything else, or should we gonna wrap it up?
Yes,
I
one
think
more
for now.
thing.
Oh yeah.
This game has cemented the notion that Sega will never add any extra content they make before the game releases into the actual game. Like, so many streamers don't even know that the prequel short and comic exist.
Oh yeah.
Why not have them in the game, and like when you boot it up, it's like, hey, do you want to see this prequel content before you start your new Sonic adventure?
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
They should absolutely add it.
There should have been like 3. I think we should have gotten 2 animated shorts, to be honest.
I think the only thing that needs to be in there is the Knuckles short, because the prequel
Yeah.
comic doesn't add really anything. It's just kind of cute, but the Knuckles short like has story purpose. Like
Yeah,
these aren't like
that's
the
one of-
Forces comics where they legitimately explain why the fuck some characters are there.
and then like the game just does not address it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But that comes down to a matter of consistency. And also there's the new like Sonic lore fucking council thing that they've got going on with Ian Flynn, Evan Stanley, and like a few other people. I don't remember exactly who's all a part of it, but
Tyson Hess.
Yeah, Tyson Hess. So Sonic is going to be a lot more consistent from now on in terms of story and like all that shit. So we're not gonna have to worry about like weird plot holes or like missing plot threads in like in all the different multimedia stuff. Everything is connected now, which is I think is pretty cool.
To kind of like cap off everything for me personally is I think we're on a good path for Sonic. This is a really good base for everything. And I'm really excited just to see like the Council of Sonic, I guess.
Sonic Lore Council.
Where they take it.
I agree.
I
agree.
And Kishimoto also seems motivated to like really get things going for this new like stage of Sonic.
Hey man, they could bring back Yuji Naka for a game, you know?
No, he's gone. He said chill.
After the insider trading fucking litigation.
Oh my god.
He's
no. They're gonna get him to design the next Prison Island stage. It's gonna be so cool.
Oh
yeah, he'll have the experience.
He'll be a fucking council on it.
Brand new experience.
I'm actually pen pals with Yuji Naka.
Holy shit.
He's like the anime villain who just like suddenly appears and takes over everything now.
No, you know what he is to me personally? You know the blue guy in Kim Possible? Is that guy.
Yeah.
But no,
Bracken?
yeah. But for me, I think the future is looking really good. I think we're on a path where we can take Sonic from being because at its best, Sonic for a lot of years has just been he's been good. He's been good. I think we might have our first time where Sonic's great
Mhm.
in a long time.
Hmm.
I just hope that that's good.
Okay.
For me, I'd say it to put in the words, I'd say like it's a step forward in a collection of step forwards we've had for a very long time. But with everything coming about, it feels like the next title will be Generations again.
Disgusting.
What do
Wait,
you mean
hold on. Never
disgusting?
mind. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Your favorite game was Lost World. Shut up.
What?
No way.
You know, now you know that's a damn lie.
That's a lie.
But
How
Matt,
dare
you
you?
told me at the last meeting.
What last meeting? Oh my. Wait, there was a meeting, but I did not say that.
Mention.
Matt actually handcuffed me to a chair and made me watch all of Lost World.
You gotta stop lying on my name. You gotta stop lying on my name. Anyway, my closing thoughts go at like this. Sonic is back. Sonic is great, and this is the step in the right direction. Let's keep making moves, making money. All right. Yeah, hell
We're
yeah.
killing Quinn.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank
Get
you.
yeah,
Vic
get-
Fuentes on the next game. Get Vic Fuentes on the next fucking game. Please, I'm begging you. Get the Rise Records 2013 starter pack on the next Sonic game. I need
Oh
it.
my god, yeah.
Get Mappa to animate the next short.
No. No.
What? Okay, you know what? Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, follow Figure 8 on all social media platforms by checking out our link tree in the description below. Do all that good shit. Follow all the homies. Hell yeah. And we'll see you in the next one. And see you next adventure.